Good morning and welcome to the Elevate Renatus team call. Today is Thriving Thursday. It's February 18th. I'm excited to be here with you today. My name is Keely Austin. Our quote of the day is, I think anything is possible if you have the mindset and the will and desire to do it and put the time in. If you haven't gotten your tickets for our national conference, make sure you do that this week. We've got tickets available and we will be meeting online for our national conference this year. The dates are March 18th through the 20th. We've got 3 full days of training that you absolutely want to be fully present for. The theme is shifting higher into focused transformation. We've also got dates for Leaders Retreat. We're going to Cabo San Lucas, Mexico, August 20th through the 24th. Looking forward to seeing you all there. Every Monday at 4 p.m. we have our Founders Live. Make sure you tune into that through the Facebook page. Monday evenings, we have our national study group where right now we're making our way through the essentials courses. Download the Helios app if you haven't already. There's some great features there. Each day there is a new money mastery video uploaded to that, and then you're able to share that with your guests. So some cool features there with the app. Make sure to give it 5 stars and know how to locate your access code. You're going to give that access code to your guests when they download the app on their phones. Every week we have a private capital masterclass. So every Thursday, that's going to be this evening at 6 p.m. Mountain Time. We are doing a private capital masterclass with Dane Clark, where we talk about what we're learning from the private capital classes and how to go out and start having those conversations. Every day from 9 to 9:45 or about 10 o'clock, we have our dream call, the daily real estate action mastermind, where you can bring your questions on classes, bring questions on deals, and just gain more clarity around what it is that you're looking to do with real estate. And then the daily team call that we're on here right now, we talk about marketing. We're here Monday through Friday, 8 to 9. And then last but not least, we have the Zoom up call, which is at noon, Monday through Friday. And it's only about 20 minutes long. And what I love about the Zoom call is we get to hear about so many different incredible stories from students from across the nation and just what they've been able to make possible with the Renatus education and this whole system that we have going on here. So tune into the Zoom up call if you haven't yet, and catch the recordings on our YouTube channel. This website here, oesoes.com, talks about what the optional event subscription is. And then you can also join the OES through this website as well. If you're looking to introduce your guests to the Profits Education, a great way to do that is to get them to this intro that Bob Tierney does. It's every Tuesday at 7 p.m. You can find that in the Helios calendar. Last night, we had a great virtual house tour. I actually did not capture the numbers for last night's tour, so excuse me for that. These are the numbers from last week's tour, but every week at 7 p.m. on Wednesdays, we have a virtual house tour. Sometimes it's a fix and flip, sometimes it's a rental, sometimes it's a short-term rental. So they're always different. And I really just love seeing, again, what people are able to do with this education. So make sure that you're getting your guests in front of these virtual house tours. It's a really powerful exposure for your guests. Every Thursday night, we also do a house tour at 7 p.m. on Thursdays, but it's offered in Spanish, where on Wednesdays it's in English. And then what else we have on Thursday is the Pillars of Wealth intro presentation. We've also got a follow-up and funding webinar. We have the onboarding session, a velocity banking study group, as well as study groups on wholesaling, multifamily, and short-term rental. So we've got all kinds of events going on Thursday that you get to pick and choose what fits best for your goals. And then we do record these calls. You can catch them on our Facebook page as well as on our YouTube channel. Facebook page has lots of important announcements. You get to network with other students, so make sure you're part of that Facebook page and getting engaged. And then our YouTube channel has these calls as well as the Zoom up calls. So do take advantage of those. A couple of resources there. So today is Thriving Thursday. We have a fantastic trainer with us today, Wanda Carrasquillo. I'm excited for what she has to share. But first, before we get into our training today, let's switch over and get our money matrix exercise completed. So we'll go through this video together, and then at the end, we're going to spend a couple minutes writing down our thoughts on the question at the end.
This man invented something we use every day. Would you have made the same choices? The Universal Serial Bus, or USB, is used in more than 10 billion devices worldwide today. It was invented 20 years ago by A.J. Bott, who was Intel's chief systems technologist. He must have made a ton of money off of his invention by now, right? Actually not. He hasn't made a single dime off of it, and he's okay with that. That is an unusual mindset for an inventor. Bott said, "I don't do these things for money. I did this to bring about change, and it's not very often that somebody gets a chance to bring about this big a change. For something that is so widely used, we have USB drives on our computers, in our cars, in our TVs, sometimes even in our home's power outlets. It hasn't made money for anyone. That's because Intel, who owns all the patents to the technology, opted to make it open and royalty-free from the beginning. Can you imagine if there was a fee attached to USB ports? It would change the way we do computing today. USB is considered the standard for connecting different devices, but back when Bott first pitched the idea of it to tech companies in the early 90s, including Microsoft and Apple, it was met with a skeptical and lukewarm response, if you can imagine. It is easy from today's vantage point to see what a smart idea it was. Back in the early 90s, computers needed a separate floppy disk driver to install each application. The USB changed all of that. But back in the early days of personal computing, companies were afraid of breaking the existing compatibility functions. The only company who could see the potential of the USB was Intel. Bott just happened to be working there at the time. Even though Intel backed the idea first, it was Apple who shipped the first USB-compatible product. The iMac G3 came out in the summer of 1998. Microsoft joined in with the second edition of Windows 98. The rest is history. Bott's mindset is amazing. He doesn't see the situation as having lost out on hundreds of millions of dollars for his invention. He believes the overall contribution of it to the computer industry is more important and more than makes up for the money. Few people would look at things the way he does. Bott's basic idea with the USB was to make the PC easier to use for regular people, as well as expand the overall PC market, which the USB certainly helped to do. If computers are seen to be easy, then we'll sell more computers, and as a part of that, we'll sell more chips. It's a much bigger picture that Intel saw, Bott said. As the pie gets bigger, we get a piece of the pie, and we're happy with it. The USB helped revolutionize the computer industry. Would it have played the same role if Intel had not decided to offer the technology for free? From external devices to flash drives to charging our smartphones, what would we do today without the USB? Will there ever be another new technology that becomes as widely used across platforms and devices as the USB? Bott thinks so, and he should know. He holds patents on 31 different technologies that he has developed. But is Bott truly okay with having missed out on the great riches that come with inventing something that becomes so huge? As an engineer, I've been handsomely rewarded by the company, Bott said, and I couldn't do this kind of work anywhere else. I have nothing to complain. It takes a unique mindset to make such a technological breakthrough and not want to capitalize financially on it. Sometimes, though, one has to realize that an idea should belong to everyone. Call to action. Mindset. Take 12 minutes right now to consider the contributions you can make for the greater good. Is that sharing your business knowledge or volunteering in your community?
That threw me off a little bit since there's not a instructions, so I want to just listen to that last part again to see.
Mindset. Take 12 minutes right now to consider the contributions you can make for the greater good. Is that sharing your business knowledge or volunteering in your community?
So what contributions can you make to help the greater good? And we'll spend just 5 minutes on this one, so I'll set a 5-minute timer and go ahead and write down your thoughts on that. I'll type in the chat what it is that we're working on. Got about 1 more minute. All righty. I hope that gave everyone enough time. Let me know. And let's get going with our training today. So today is Thriving Thursday. We get to learn from a wonderful individual, wonderful Wanda. And it's been really nice getting to know Wanda over the last year or so as I've been hosting these calls and just getting closer with Wanda and some of our trainers. She is a beautiful, beautiful human being. And no matter what life throws at her, she is still just killing it in this business. And make sure to take notes today. And I'm excited for what Wanda has to share with us. But first, just a quick overview of Wanda's story. She was born in Puerto Rico, and despite many life challenges, she was able to earn herself 2 master's degrees in education. And in her career, she succeeded in many ways, but was constantly always just hitting that ceiling anytime she tried to reach higher. And at the time, she was also looking to start multiple businesses. She absolutely has an entrepreneurial spirit, but at the time, none of those businesses took off. And so when Wanda found Renatus, she was really able to let her entrepreneurial spirit shine. And in just her first 8 months, she was able to earn herself 6 figures and has done so each year after, with the exception of 2020. And Wanda is now on the PIT team, meaning she is in training to be on the President's Advisory Council with our CEO, Bob Snyder. And she has just changed so many people's lives by helping introduce them to Renatus, as well as has completed over 21 real estate transactions. And real estate investing has really created a bright future for herself. And there are great things to come. So I'm very excited for what Wanda has to share. Good morning, Wanda. How are you doing today?
Good morning, Tilly. Thank you so much for that introduction. You're always so clever at the things that you do and select. So we didn't plan this again. It's just amazing how our vibes are in the same kind of high vibe. But let's discuss a little bit about the Money Metric video. And it talks about what are the great contributions that you can give either for your job or company, business, or for the community. And I read that Regina from Hawaii, she said that she's just reaching out to her community, the Brazilian speaking community in Hawaii, which is really great. But can anybody come out and share the things that you are doing or planning to do? Because sometimes we are just in that stage of planning to do something. Anyone?
Well, I'll come out if nobody will, but I want to give a chance to some people that don't
Go ahead,
necessarily come
Hilda.
out.
just
Okay.
in about 2 minutes because we
Yeah.
need, I have a lot to cover.
Yeah. So yeah, what I got out from that is, we have to think about what we can contribute. And it's so important to not just focus on the money part. Although for him, he's still thinking about, there's still part of that, the overall of it, that he still gets a little bit of it. So even if he loses out on the big royalty, money, but he's still making some money from selling more of the computers. So for us, it's like when we do deals, to apply in what we do. So we may not make as much, but then at least, even if we make a little bit, so it would be, what we do is like a win-win-win scenario. Yeah, that's what I got out of that, Wanda.
Yes, definitely. And I was thinking about the same thing because I'm like, okay, you may not get a lot of money in the long run. In the long run, you get more money than in, a chunk at the beginning, but you leave a legacy. Everybody knows that the USB are created by him, and that, so you have left a legacy. You have changed the world. You have changed something and contribute something to society. And that is exactly a great segue to the topic that I want to bring today. And I want to talk about leaders and followers. Leaders versus followers. Most of us in this call are participating in the 10-day challenge. So if you look at the organization and how things have been set up, those people, leaders who have put this together, they are leaders. They have worked together and put things together as a team. So those are leaders. When you work as a team, when you work with other people to contribute to something, to a cause. In this case, to contribute to Renato so we can get more students and so on. Then the followers, normally they work by themselves or they just follow somebody, right? They just don't contribute. They're not as creative, but they just go with the flow and continue to move forward with that. I like to bring this topic, and I want a little bit of participation to see if you really, really understand, and if you can give me examples of leaders or followers. Anybody? I like participation. Come on.
Jobs was a leader.
Who was it?
Steve Jobs.
Oh, yes. And actually, yesterday I came out with some of the quotes from him. And it's amazing because he talks about contribution, which is the same topic that we saw on the Money Matrix video. Yeah, anything that you contribute is a leader. Yes, Steve Jobs definitely have a leader and entrepreneurship characteristics. Thank you for sharing. Anybody else?
I love a
What do
Steve
you
Jobs
consider?
quote.
Yes. Oh, go ahead. Yes. Do you know
Steve
it by
Jobs
memory?
said, "The crazy people who think they can change the world are the ones that do." And we're in a position to make a tremendous impact in people's lives. And so, I feel that we're obligated to go out and share and just keep, sharing this information and this education with others, and just, like Steve Nomura said yesterday, go out and take massive action and spread the word, because we have an opportunity to change people's lives. So the people who are crazy enough to think they change the world are the ones that do.
Correct. I love that. Actually, like Steve Nomura said, yeah, that you have to take massive action, and massive action goes along in anything that you're doing, and stay focused on what you're doing. If you're doing the challenge, you stay focused and you do it. If you're doing, and you do it 100%. If you dedicate whatever you decide to do, you do it at 100%, and you become a leader, because you are creating an organization. And to become a leader, you have to kind of take the role of contribution, take the role of doing things that are not necessarily the norm, to move forward and to create a big team. And you be the leader. So to do that, you have to know how to do follow-ups. You need to know the compensation plan. This week, I spend most of my time just going to do follow-ups one-on-ones with different people who have been joining my team. And it's important that you know how to do the follow-ups. So I like to know now, want to transition to some skills now. Some of the skills that leaders, if you want to become 5-star, if you are not 5-star yet, you need to learn these skills. And if you are 5-star, I'm hoping that you are doing these things and doing your follow-ups. Now that we have the 10-day challenge, we're moving forward with so many people who have joined the challenge that are guests. We have what, the last time I looked, it was 2,400 people in the challenge. So yes, a lot of people are ICMs, but most other, percentage is they are guests, and we need to just do the follow-ups, not let those people go through the crack, because they are learning. Even if you don't see them in videos, even if you don't see them in active participation, they are watching. They're watching the videos. A lot of my people are afraid of Spanish, speaking of going on videos in English. So they are watching. I said, don't leave the challenge, just stay there and watch and do it on your own, even if you don't post your video. So all of those things are happening. And as a leader, you have to learn how to follow up, how to continue moving forward. Yesterday, one of the things that I did is just send a note to everybody who joined the challenge that I invited it to the challenge. I just sent a text and said, how are you doing? And I have some replies, some didn't. And I'm like, okay, maybe if the person didn't reply, it's because they are not interested anymore, but I keep the engagement. So that's what a leader do. And I don't want to talk, about what I do, if it's perfect or not. I'm not a perfect person or anything. I just try to improve every day to become the leader that I want to be, to become like Michael, to become like Richard Stock, to become like Bob Snyder. Because those characteristics, when you see Bob Snyder on the generally speaking, and he said, do not, and give us those tips, do not quit until you're ready, until you have three times your income, then you quit. So those are little things that leaders do and guide you people into the process so they can become better. I think I need to turn, you hear the noise. I think I need to turn my air conditioner down for me a second. So, so what I want is to go over now over the process to do a follow-up. And who knows, what do you do in a follow-up? Because everybody does it differently. I have 4 steps for a follow-up that I want to share with you. But if anybody on the line who does follow-up one-on-ones, what are the things that you cover in your follow-up? Let's discuss that, because I know we have so many people that are new in the call that will benefit from learning to do follow-up and begin to practice. Some of the things that I do too for the new people in my team is just, I take them with me into the follow-up so they watch me. It's like an apprenticeship model in which I show you how to do it, then you do it, and then I fade away. That way you guide the people through the steps of becoming a leader instead of followers. What are the things that you do in your follow-ups? Anyone? If anybody does follow up in the line, let me see, maybe you don't do follow-ups. I know that I think Antonio is here in the line, Antonio Lobo. No, not anymore. Anybody?
I do the follow-up like what you were showing it to us, Wanda. So I'm showing what you.
Oh, you do the Wanda.
Yes.
Okay. Oh, perfect. Yeah, you learned that for me. I'm going to discuss that one in a minute. So
I'm going to call out somebody. Is Tawny Is Tawny available to talk? I know that she's a pretty solid marketer and
Yes,
might have some knowledge to share
That's-
on follow-up.
I was wondering when I was going to get ratted
that's
out.
right. She was the number one last week. So congratulations.
I don't do follow-ups. No, I'm just kidding. Sorry, I've just been getting ready for the day. Yes, I do follow-ups. So you're asking like what's my process in the follow-up?
Uh-huh. Yes.
Okay. Yeah, in the follow-up. People are enjoying my Instagram stories. Okay. For my follow-up, I present it to my guests as a one-on-one, basically a strategy session. I call it a strategy/game plan session. And I tell them we'll take about 90 minutes to go over a 3-phase game plan from getting started, and then laying out all the I can't even think, the steps from going from new to into your first deal, in whatever time frame they're looking at. So I go through that process. I also show them the education, whether in person, showing my computer screen, or doing a screen share on Zoom. So I'm always sure to show them the education, how full and robust the classes are and everything that it goes over. I also show them our Facebook group, and then also my private team's Facebook page. And then I talk about all the cool, morning calls that we have and our weekly workshops and events and everything. So I give them a full idea of, the value of Ornatus. And then I end it with, are you in or are you not?
That's good. That's the best question to do, right? Are you in or are you on? If they're not interested, you're not going to waste your time. You may leave it there, because a no is not necessarily a no. It's just no now. So you just leave it and continue to invite them until they're ready. I have had people, and you see even Kelly, Michael follow up for her, I think, like 4 years, Kelly? Or something like that?
The 5-year follow-up is my name.
5 years follow up with Kelly. So she wasn't ready at that moment until she got ready. So you just do those processes. So what I want to share with you, and thank you, Tony, because that's exactly what I do. I just want to show you specifically a process. So I'm going to share my screen.
Let me make you a co-host.
Co-host. Yes, please.
Okay.
These steps, at this moment, I want you to take notes. I want you to really concentrate, because what I'm going to do is just show you the process of what I do on a follow-up. And I'm going to go also over the earnings plan, which is so important to me. You see my screen now?
Yes.
Can you see my screen?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you see me as well?
No, it's just your image that you have loaded. So we do see your image, but not your live video.
Oh, you see my image. Okay, perfect. I don't know why, but all right. So first, let's look at this. Leaders versus followers. So who can read this for me? Anybody can read this for me?
Followers focus on what they can achieve individually. Leaders are team players because they know that greatness is a collective feat. A leader is only as good as what he or she can achieve through other people. A leader is only as good as what he or she can achieve through other people. I think I misspoke that. A leader, let's go back to that. A leader is only as good as what he or she can achieve through other people. A leader is only as good as what he or she can achieve through other people. Oh, it's repeated. Okay.
Oh, it's repeated. Okay. Perfect. So basically, what we can do as leaders, we just gonna achieve it with other people. I can see the list of people in this call, and we had done several bliss calls and challenges, and some people joined me, and they're not even my team, but we just became and that's why Doug is here. We just became friends, and we just became more acquainted, and we started to do action steps in becoming better leader and becoming a better marketer as well. So basically, that is what a leader do. Just, you cannot do it alone. You have to do it and focus in all the people that you can bring together with you. So here is another quote by John Quincy Adams. Anybody would like to read it, please?
If your actions inspire others to dream more, learn more, do more, and become more, you are a leader. John Quincy Adams.
That is awesome quote. I think, and I like this quote because that's what I in my mission, I think that's what I like. I like to inspire others to do better. I'm working now with a person who's going to help me with my marketing and creating my logos and so on for my company. And I just realized, I told him, my mode of action and what I like to do is really inspire others to do better. And I think I had that mission since I was little. I always kind of trying to encourage people, you can do better, you can do better. I remember my oldest cousin, we are only like 6 months apart. And when he was in high school, I'm like, you need to finish high school, you need to finish high school. And when he finished, I'm like, you made it. So I remember even, at that age, just trying to encourage people to do something better for themselves. And that's why you have to find your mission. What is your mission? If your mission is just to do something better for society, like in the Money Metrics video, is just continue to motivate people to do better. And that will shine and show your leadership abilities. So before I move into the earnings plan, let me tell you exactly what Tony described on the follow-up. And I like to bring this up because as leaders, that's what our activities are. Just to follow up with people, just to continue on into building your teams. And you learn the follow-up. So Tony described what she does in her follow-ups. And I do the same thing, pretty much the same thing. And we all learn from Michael and from Richard. And I just divided to make it easier in 4 steps. So first, I go over the education. So my follow-up have 4 steps. Number 1.
Are you writing anything down, or?
I don't have it on a slide here. I
just want to double check and make sure we're seeing what you want us to see.
No.
We're seeing the
code
still.
No. Yeah,
okay.
I left it in the code.
Perfect.
The number 1 is to review the education. So I go over the education first, because what I said is like, from the presentation that you saw, let me review what you saw, kind of in a summary type of thing. And I explained that we have 3 different services: Essentials, Profits, and AIT. I explained the different prices: Essentials 2,000, rounded up, Profit 3,000, and AIT 18,000. Those are rounded up. I explained that in Essentials, you're going to learn how to manage and maintain your money. You also learn about taxes and a little bit about the foundation for real estate and learning how to acquire the properties and analyze the properties. Then business is for business, profit is for business, in which you will learn how to set up your plan of action and set up your business plan and put it automatic, learn how to sell with Foodies courses and use the Drive system, and explain the 9 courses that are in Profit. And then I move into AIT and explain the 11 tracks. So that summarized what they saw in the presentation. Then I move them into the plan of action. You can complete these courses, phase 1, phase 2, phase 3. On phase 1, you finish your essentials. Phase 2, you do one track, like for example, fix and flip, and then you get on a deal. Basically, walk them through that process. I do a calculation for the time in which I said, okay, every course is 8 hours. If you have 10 courses, that's 80 hours, that's 80 days. If you take 1 hour per day, if you do 2 hours per day, that's 40 days, but it's up to you. The time is up to you. How much time do you dedicate? If you want to dedicate 10 days in a row or 10 days in 1 month to sit down from 9 to 5, you can do that because it's 8 hours. You can speed it up and also make it perhaps 6 hours because you can put it in a high speed for the videos. You can download them in MP3 and watch it or listen to them while you're driving. You just give options to people because people want to know how they can complete things. If you just let them be by themselves, it's not gonna happen. Then on step number 3, I explain the ways to pay for it. You can pay this way, you can pay this way. You have 13 ways to pay. Those are in the document. If you go to the combined document, and that is a document that is required for you to give to everybody that you are doing follow-ups. Everybody who have seen the presentation, you need to keep that document. Then phase number 3, for the last part, I go over the earnings plan. Why I go over the earnings plan? The reason why is because I personally, in this part of my own story, I always start like the earnings plan is completely optional, but Renato's created the wealth cycle. You can study and learn, you can learn and earn at the same time. And the earnings and the wealth cycle will get you into earning money. You can actually become only ICM and create them the same money for your own education and pay for your own education by selling the education. So I give them options, and that way is how we move forward. So I have another code here, and anybody would like to read it?
Wanda, what's the document that you give them?
I'm going to show you in a minute. It's called the Combine. I always search here for Combine, but after I finish this presentation, I can go to my other app and show it to you, okay? Give me a second.
Okay.
But thank you.
I'll read the quote. I'd rather have 1% of the effort of 100 men than 100% of my own effort.
Very good. So we like to expand, right, our efforts. So instead of you doing it by yourself, you do it with others. It's the same thing. Are you a leader or you a follower? If you're a follower, you want to stay by yourself. If you're a leader, you want to start moving forward and you're going to start sharing this with other people. And I understand some of you are executive, and that is a very good quality to have. You show me the money, show me this, and you want to show proof. But it doesn't have to be your proof. It could be somebody else's proof. I always said, if you don't have results yet, just use mine and use my story. That's why we have so many people sharing stories. And we have the Zoom up. You have a library now of over 80 stories right now that you can use and show the proof, not necessarily you proof. So for executive, please take that in consideration. And this is a disclaimer for ICM, and you all know that we are independent marketer, independent contractor marketers, and we don't work for Renato's, we just provide marketing services for them. And then I go over the wealth cycle, which I already explained. And I explained that just to show people that it's possible. And I bring my story right there. I said, I wasn't considering doing marketing. I didn't even know that this existed, but I lost my job. When I lost my job and I asked the person who invited me, I'm like, okay, what am I gonna do now? I don't want to find another job. My main goal was to retire in October, and this was March. So obviously, I'm not going to find a job to start working so many more years there, and wanted to retire in October. So what I did is I just began to market the school. And from April to December, I was six-figure income. And yes, I continued to make six-figure until last year in marketing. And I did more than, I did my six-figure if you combine my real estate and marketing. But in marketing alone, yes, I didn't make the six-figure last year because of COVID. And yes, I can give all these excuses. My grandma, COVID, being locked in Puerto Rico, all of those excuses. But I made good money. I made probably the same amount of money that I was making when I got fired from my job last year. So it was good, even though it wasn't my best year. So those are things that you have to consider. Yesterday, I was talking to another person in Renatos, and he said, if you don't market in real estate, you can make more money. And I kept thinking, yes, but I could do both. I could do both. I still making good money in real estate, and I still having my goals of retiring using real estate as passive income, but I make good money with marketing. And the third reason why I market is because I have a passion to help others. In real estate, it's just kind of about money. I call this person pretty much to, ask for a favor, and it was about money. I'm like, I'm not here for money. Yes, money is coming, but I'm here more to help people. So my goal to help others. And if you put your heart into that, like this guy in the money metrics, he didn't care about the royalties. He cared more about what his contribution was to the world. That's going to give you more in the long run. So think about that. All right, so then because I explained my transition and my desire to help others and so on, I took marketing seriously. And then I started learning my comp plan. So I sat down with the person who was training me, and they explained me my comp plan. The comp plan has changed, and this is what it is. So if you go, this is something that is important for you to learn, because those are the prices. We have the regular prices and the discounted prices, and these are the cash prices. So we are basing this in the cash prices. Like Essential is rounded up to 2,000, Profit about 3,000. The Advance is about 6,000, and the Extreme Plus is 18,000. So I just said I'm rounded it up, $3, $6 more, and so on. And then you have the cash discount prices. I explain these to people, and you can memorize it. And those are for the combos. So a Profit combo is about 5,000, 6,000. The AIT Advanced combo is 8,000. The EPX complete is 28,000 or 23,000 if you pay in cash. And this is a good part here on the qualifications. So we created some steps for you to reach into 5-star. 5-star is your main goal. You are starting in 0. Everybody starts at 0. If you, I have some students who did not renew the ICMs. And if they went to nationals last year and they were given the 3 stars and they didn't pay, they lost their 3 stars. They need to start again at 0. So everybody is in the same plane and start at 0. From 0 to 5,000 CVs, because every product, every service has a CV. The Essentials is 1,000. The Profit is 1,200. The AIT is 9,000. When you do combinations, like combo, and the EPX is 11,200. So if you do the combo for extreme combo, 9,000 from AIT, 1,000 from Essentials, that is the 10,000 CVs. The CVs are the commission volume. So that is what you're gonna get paid from. And these are the percentage. From 0 CVs to 5,000 CVs, you get paid 30%. From 5,000 CVs to 15,000 CVs, you get paid 40%. From 15,000 to 50,000, you get paid 50%. And from 50,000 above, or infinitive, is 100%. And as long as you keep your ICM active, you will get 100%, and you just renew every year in December, the $197. So do we have, if anybody have questions up to this point? And Kelly, if any questions in the chat, because I don't see the chat.
No, there are not.
Okay, so I think this is clear. And then once you become 5-star, 3 levels above in the leadership line will get 10%. And that is like, for example, I am 5-star. Every time that I do a sale, Michael gets 10%, Richard gets 10%, and this guy, I forgot his name, but he is above Richard, then he gets 10%. I forgot his name, sorry. And if anybody in the line is 1-star, 3-star, then the percentage are divided. I want to go now to, before we continue on, let me go to my notes.
Wanda?
Yes.
Kim asked if this information is in Helios.
Yes, and I'm going to show that document now.
Perfect.
Do you still see my screen?
Yes.
Yes, okay, perfect. So let me first show the document. I have it on my notes as combined. Renato's combined catalog. So you see, these are 2 documents that I always send. It's the educational package, which includes all the courses, and it's a very nice brochure. But then this other document, I send that this one is required for you to send it. I always send the combined one because I explain the earnings plan, and I will recommend everybody to explain the earnings plan because they may not use it right away, but maybe in the future, like it happened to me. So I always say, hey, this is an optional, you don't have to do it, but this is why I do it, and I do both. So this document goes over the entire, all the courses. It explains here the cash prices and the billing system and so on, and explain the different ways to pay. Oh, this was not the combined one. That's not the combined one. So I like the combined one. Let me see if I can search combined. It's probably this one. And what's going on? I always have the combined there. Combine. It's not loading the whole thing. The combined does have the earnings plan. I use this one. Oh, it's not loading, or maybe they are working on it or something. Let me go to, let me see, I send it, maybe this one. Huh. Well, the combined does have the earnings plan. Why is not coming up? Combine. This is the process I use all the time.
Do you know where to pull it up from the actual Helios website?
Yes,
That way
if you
can
go,
show.
yeah, I can show you that. If you go to Helios. Let me pull my Helios here. You still see my screen, right? Let me know if you lose me.
Yes, we're following.
Perfect. So you go to Helios. You go to marketing. And under presentations, you search combine. Come on.
Okay, Luis Rios shared a link in the chat for the combination pack.
Awesome.
Thanks,
Awesome.
Luis.
Awesome. Okay, so that is the combination package. The combination, like I said, I use the combination because it has the earnings plans there. Let me see if I can see the chat and pull it up, but that's gonna stop my screen sharing. And we are, oh my goodness, at the top of the hour. No, let me review this because I don't want you to leave. I can do this in 2 minutes really quickly. And this is something I do in a napkin. You can do this in a napkin and share your earnings plan. So I already kind of set it up over here for you. I draw my steps. So, and I explain from 0 to 5, 0 to 15, 50, and 100, and all the percentage. And then I get this. I said, if you sell, I'm going to start with a extreme combo that is $20,000, and it gave me 10 CDs. So for the first person, 5 CDs are here, which is 1,500 at 30%. The other 5 CDs are going to be paid at 40%, which is 2,000. So for the first person, you are actually making 3,500. Good money, huh? For the first person. You know, if we do this example of actually a extreme combo, then the next person will give you another 10. So 5 CVs are paid at 40%, and the other 5 CVs are going to be paid at 50%. So that means that this is 2,000, and this one is 2,500. So for the second person, you're making 4,500. Pretty good, huh? Then you still need to reach 50,000 CDs, and you have now, you need another 30 because you have 20 CDs, 20,000 CDs. Now you need another 30. So this one will give you 10,000, 10,000, 10,000. You make 250, but that gives you 5,000 because it's 50%. 5,000, 5,000 equal 15,000 for these 3 people total. And total is 23,000. So see how you can pay for your own education, and now you become 5-star, and you can start building, you know, your wealth over with marketing. But the first 5 sales, if you sell 5 combos, you earn your money back on the EPX. Oh, you pay for your own education. How cool is that? Huh? So basically, that is what I want you to demonstrate today in terms of becoming a leader or a follower. Are you a leader? You know how to follow up, you know how to do your earnings plan, and you know which documents you need to give out to people so they are informed and they can make an educated decision. I leave you with this, guys. It's 9:01, so, and I know that you need to use the room for the next call. If you have questions, let me know, but I hope that this was a good explanation of how to become a leader and continue to contribute to this great community. Talk to you later, guys. Have a nice week, and I see you tonight at the event. Bye-bye. Oh, don't forget Saturday. Saturday is, we have intensive on Saturday with the notes. With
Mr.
Jeff
Armstrong.
Jeff Armstrong.
Jeff Armstrong.
Okay. Thank you,
Cool.
guys. Register
Thanks,
for that.
Wanda.
Bye-bye. You're
Thank you,
welcome.
Wanda.
Have a good day.
All right, guys,
Thank
make
you,
sure
Wanda.
you register your guest, because last intensive, we had some people that were not registered. So unfortunately, for us to be checking it, we can't really, trace it. We don't have the information. So they were attending and we can't give the credits to people. So
Do yourself
Yes.
a favor, register your guests.
yes.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Gilda.
So register for intensive. Thank you. Bye-bye.